Hughie Fury versus Michael Hunter has been cancelled and at the very least postponed. So, you know, watching Hughie Fury's career since a few fights in, and he always started out. I always thought, he's got a lot to prove, but he could have a chance. But I've never seen, like it's been mentioned before, someone pull out so many fights just due to illness. Like it's been said a few times before on other channels, etc. He used to have all these boils over him, and I'd watch it and I'd go like, "What's all that, man? Is he like? Surely that's just no acne at the age of like 20 odd, or 20 or 19." I mean, I used to suffer from bad acne back in the day, and you know, I didn't have boils on my back like that. That's so to me, just looking at that as an outsider, that's an issue. Something's wrong there, and you can even see here like scars and stuff from it, man. That's not normal. No disrespect either, but he has to be one of the sickest guys in the boxing arena that's always pulling out. I can't. I'd have to go back and look at them all, but he's pulled out a lot of fights, man. Andy Ruiz, even low level fights. I remember him pulling out, postponing fights as well. But I was looking forward to this because I wanted to see, the winner of this fight, someone like a Daniel Dubois, etc. But yeah, let's see what's happening here. Hugh Fury's heavyweight clash against Michael Hunter has been postponed as the British contender is recovering from illness. He's 27 now. Crikey, man! I didn't realise he was quite that old. I thought, yeah, it's a shame because he's been. I swear he had like some kind of gluten illness as well or something along those lines. He was out for like a year because of illness, and he had to change his diet and all that sort of stuff. And he came back, and his father was like, "Yeah, he's better now," but there must be some underlying illness or something that they're just not letting on. It must have been diagnosed with something by now that it just didn't quite make sense. I mean, for me, I've been impressed with Hughie Fury over the last few fights. He put on a solid performance against Marius Vac. He came forward, obviously, um, still got things to prove, and Marius Vac's the potentially borderline journeyman now, or was even a couple of years ago, and it's still a solid chin. But yeah, Hugh Fury put a beating on him, and he stopped Christian Hammer as well in his last fight. He's coming forward, and he's got a good chin. I quite like the new Hughie Fury. I used to be very frustrated watching him against things like Joseph Parker and um, Pulev and um, oh, Povetkin as well. Very frustrating to watch because you just know, if he'd applied himself or just altered a couple of things, you'd have had it in the bag legitimately. And sometimes I feel like that about Parker as well. So what's this is a quote. His father, Peter Fury, pulled him out. On behalf of myself and my son, we apologise to the fans, but most of all to the Hunter and his team, because like us, they've gone through a hard camp and used the last thing any in boxing wants to hear, said Peter Fury. Hughie struggled on through the illness, but physically broke down. We look forward to the fight being rescheduled, as it's a great fight for both men and the fans around the world. And I don't like to get emotional, but it does send a few shivers up the spine because I've got massive respect for Peter Fury. I've always liked him. Um, must have been watching him. Yeah, since Tyson Fury's early days, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's circumspect. He can see things a lot more logically than a lot of people, and really have an ability to analyze things that a lot of people don't have in the boxing game. A lot of it is emotion. A lot of it is conjecture, and people make you know, he's also not the guy that's scared to go against the grain, and he's certainly not a guy, in my opinion. Obviously I don't know the guy. I can't say for a fact, but he doesn't come across as somebody that's puts on a show. He's level headed, and he wouldn't pull out a guy that's not ill or not, really ill against, against Michael Hunter. It just doesn't make any sense. Big opportunity. I know commercially Michael Hunter's not the biggest name, but beating a Michael Hunter, that is it. That's one on the bedpost. In a PG sense. Um, but yeah, what did you say here? Hughie struggled through his illness, physically broke down. Looking forward to reschedule the fight. Both men around the fight. Once again, we apologise to everyone involved, but health is paramount in boxing. Agreed, man. Got to make that money, but at the same time, if you ain't got your health, you ain't got your wealth, and that's how it is in life. Fury's promotional team, Boxer, now working on a new date. That'd be decent. Boxing fans of the world will be looking forward to this fight, and so have the two fighters. Nobody will be more disappointed than Hughie and Michael. But today's news, health is more important than anything. We wish Hughie Fury a speedy recovery while arranging a new date for his bout in Manchester, said Ben Shalom, boxer, founder and CEO. Tickets, blah blah blah. And then again, I'd like to see the fight. I'd like to see Hughie progress, and I definitely think if he wasn't so sick, I think he'd be, doing a lot better. I think obviously they've worked on his mental aspect a lot because he's a solid guy, man. I've never met him, but people that I know that have met him, he's a legit 6'6". He's a big guy, and he's strong, good chin, and with his new methods of coming forward as well, rather than just waiting back and not really doing that much, just kind of vetting the fight. I think he'll be a tricky customer, especially in the next couple of years. And anyway, moving on to Hatton here. He's obviously going to be rescheduled, but that's looking like, according to this article over here, it's going to be 12th of November, which is some crazy amount of time. That's like 6 months. That's crazy. 5 months. That's crazy, man. Let's hope Ricky Hatton, pardon me, Ricky Hatton can really put on a show. I was watching a video over here. He was just talking about he's been sparring, working on things technically with, he's been leaving his chin out a little bit and leaping in, etc. But that's expected for a guy coming back, and especially at 43, he's not really done that much in the last 10 years. So yeah, big respect to him, and he's, just watching him, he's the kind of guy that needs a goal in life, like a Barrera or something like that, to keep the weight off. You can't just be like, I'll keep the weight off, keep the weight off, keep the weight off. That's easy to say. Once you got your win and you get back into style of relaxing and, like he says, drinking his Guinness or whatever he does to go out his fish and chips, etc. He's going to slip into bad ways eventually over the next year or so. So he needs these constant goals. A bit like Tyson Fury in that way. Maybe not as brash and outspoken and as ever promoted on the media or whatever. But yeah, he's that kind of guy. And like what he said, it's not rocket science. I've been up and down in weight my whole life, and small and often. Cut out the Guinness, treat sparingly, have a wee tinny juice, Dr Pepper or an Iron Brew, whatever, now and again. But easy to say that, and eat your vegetables and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's all about your mindset and your mental preparation. If you ain't on it, then it ain't gonna happen. You have to be happy with where you are in life. You gotta be, don't like your job, move, do something else. Put this as a priority. Boxing. Find somebody that'll train you, even if you got to pay a little bit, just to get back in the swing of things, and you're doing a session once a week, just get back in the swing of things and go to a few sessions. Just do a little bit extra every day, man. Like even silly things like walking up the stairs rather than getting the elevator or escalator or whatever it is. Ain't a hardship in the long run. So yeah, and that's slowly that progression of you getting in training, even if you're still eating rubbish or whatever it is. is going to put you in good stead, and it's slowly going to mold your mind back into that mindset, or get your mind into that mindset, even if you've never been there. So yeah, these are very good words from Ricky Hatton. One of the guys that actually I started watching when I was a very young man. So big up to Ricky Hatton. Look forward to seeing Hughie Fury fight again as well. And that's it for me for now. So yeah, any comments on any of these fights or that card, it'd be great to hear from you guys. Remember, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell as well. It really does help. And I'll catch you guys soon. Cheers.